Hi, everybody. This is Mike Gerdes from the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living, and I hope you have had a wonderful day. Hey, tonight I want to talk to you about a subject that a lot of us kind of say, "Oh, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to hear about that. Let's not talk about that." And that's talking about eternal life. You might notice some flowers over my left shoulder. Those are lilies. And the reason why we've got lilies over there is that my son's favorite flower were lilies. And tomorrow we honor the anniversary of his jumping off the planet, which is a nice way of saying that he died, and at least from this life experience. And so, when you're talking about somebody making a transition, somebody dying from this life experience, yeah, it's sad. At the same token, one can recognize if you really believe that life's eternal, if you really believe that we are individualizations of God's life, no one can ever die. We are immortal beings now, having a spiritual beings now, having a human experience. And yes, when this body no longer serves us, we go on to another plane of experience. Now, judging the future by the past, should we say, most of us came into this life with loving friends to meet us and greet us and take care of us. And I think that that's exactly what Kyle experienced as he moved into his next life adventure. It's interesting, It's especially tough when it's your child or somebody real close to you that makes their transition. But one of the things I learned from one of my teachers was a guy by the name of Dr. Tom Costa. He was also known as Dr. Love. And he said, "Mike, nobody comes in your life to stay." It's kind of a hard lesson, but it's true. Every one of us and everybody we know eventually is going to make their transition. It's going to jump off the planet, going to be going to another life plane. Now, somebody may argue with that, and I'll let them. But nobody I know so far. Now, some people look really, really old, but I don't think that you're going to find very many people that are going to be sticking around for 300, 400, 500 years plus. I just don't imagine that. So that means not only the people we know, but that means ourselves too. So get used to it. The good news is that you've probably been through the experience already, because if life's eternal, that means it's eternal in both directions, right? It means not only you will always be, but you've always been. Oh, deep, isn't it? But it's true. Now, the science of mind does not teach reincarnation. Dr. Holmes didn't really believe in reincarnation, but the nice thing about our teaching is you can believe anything you want. And some of us do believe that we've had past lives, can recognize past lives that we've had. And some of us can't. But I do believe that when we go into our next life experience, Dr. Holmes tells us that we can consciously choose to take ourselves with us. In other words, take our memory with us, take our recollection with us. Now, my personal opinion is that we have to make a decision to do that, to make that happen. Because, again, where my focus goes, energy flows. Mind is always at work. If I tell universal mind that I want to carry myself with me, my conscious mind with me, my spirit with me into my next life experience, it only says yes. Because subjective intelligence, subjective mind only says what? Yes. I love the fact that God's a yes man. Or a yes woman, depending on how you look at it. So, yeah, tomorrow it's going to be tough. It'll be tough. But, I recognize that nobody comes into our life to stay. Some people come for a long time. Some people come for a short time. What's important is that while we are with the people we are with, we honor and love them and recognize the Christ within them and embrace them. Tell them we love them. Now, not everybody that comes into your life experiences somebody that you really resonate with. Now, we're supposed to love everybody, but that doesn't mean we need to stick around and hang out with them. There's some people that are just not good for our well-being, and that's okay, because we don't necessarily have to get along with everybody. We just have to be, well, let me rephrase that. We can be in harmony with people, but not necessarily have to invite them over for dinner. You follow what I'm saying? But there's other people that we have a particular resonance to. And those people we can reach out to and be friends with. You know, there's an inner knowing when you meet people as to whether somebody is something you can connect with or somebody that you know you can't connect with. And I think this comes from an intuition within ourselves as to what's on the subjective side of that person. Does that resonate with our principles, our values, our morals, our ideals, or not? And it's not stated, I just think we sense that, we intuit that. And if we run across people that we feel a kinship to, tell you what, make a friend. And how you make a friend is by being a friend. Reach out to them. Get to know them. Ask questions about them. Be kind to them. Find out when their birthday is. Send them a birthday card. Heck, these days you can send e-birthday cards, so it's not that big a deal. And these days, you know, with the COVID-19 and the safe distancing and stuff like that, a lot gets done with Zoom calls and telephone calls. Telephone calls go a long ways these days. But the truth is, if you want friends, you need to be a friend. Because one of the nice things about having friends, gang, is that when stuff happens, it's good to have friends around. Now, Dr. Maxine is my best friend. And when Kyle jumped off the planet, she was right by me all the time. And there was another gentleman that I was at a meeting and I mentioned that my son had died. Immediately, John got up and came over and sat by me, just to be there with me. We need people to be with us sometimes. Not necessarily to pat us on the shoulder and say, now everything's going to be okay, although some of that's okay, but just to be there with us. Those are our friends. So, make some friends. You're going to need them someday. Be a friend of other people. Be there for them when they need you. And remember the truth. There's one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is eternal. And that life is my life. That life is your life. And that life is Kyle's life right now. Always has been, always is, always will be. And with that, I say good night. Make sure that you catch us at cslphilly.org and catch up on our live streams and our Love Note archives. Also, there's an opportunity for you to make a donation, and we really appreciate you making donations, whatever amount. Also, it tells you about the classes that are coming up, and some really terrific classes are coming up. You need to check them out, including my Saturday morning Science of Mind study program. It's free, with a love offering if you want, but it's really great, and I enjoy it. Everybody enjoys it, and we invite you to hop on. So that's all for tonight. Take care. Know you're loved. Peace.